Just one little line. Gotta get to the thing. There we go. Just one little line. You guys ever heard that song, Suicide Boys? This kid at work, he's got me on Suicide Boys. I listen to fucking Suicide Boys. Wait for some more people to get on. If anybody gets on, we'll see. We'll see. Just do lives out of nowhere. What's happening in the NFL today, dude? I haven't really been scrolling on X today. Been having to get ready. I have to go to a wedding. I have to go to a wedding tomorrow. Fifth year option tracker for first round picks 2023 NFL draft. Click on that article. Could be interesting. Damn, that draft was. Damn, bro. That 2023 draft was actually pretty. There's a lot of good players in this draft, dude. Shit. Let me see. Wait for some more people to get up in here. Come on, man. I know it's late. I know it's late. Last time we did it early, but I figured a little bit later some more of you would be on. But I guess some of you are on the East Coast, yeah? It's probably like 8 there. A couple of you in the Midwest. I guess it's not 2 hours ahead in the Midwest, is it? Or is it 1? I forget. I forget every time. I forget every time. Just one little line. Just kidding, I don't do drugs. I'm straight edge. Is that what they say? Straight edge? It's just a song, man. It's just a song. See if anybody gets on, man. I don't know. We'll see. I guess I should have scheduled it before. It's on me. Bro. I gotta shave my beard, man. It's getting too crazy. You know, I used to be so against facial hair, but every now and then I'm like, bro, kind of hides a little bit of my double chin, you know what I mean? Just a little. Kind of hides it. Since I'm smaller, scheduling some of these lives might be better, but sometimes I just like to wing shit. You know what I mean? I'm just like, whatever, bro. I'm just diving straight in. If people see it, they hop on. That's what's up. In the future, maybe we'll schedule some, but bro, I just like hopping straight on out of nowhere. It's kind of how I do videos. Well, I guess every now and then, I guess I do I'll post some videos early. I've done that, but I've been trying to like upload like 3:30, post 3:30, later, all the way up until like 8. So like between 3:30 and 8. That's kind of where I try to upload. But like 4 is typically like what I really like to upload at cuz like some of you guys are on the east, so it makes it kind of hard, especially with me earlier in the day cuz I get off work and it's like later and shit. It's like 6 and it's like, bro, some of those people are getting ready for bed at 8. But nah, man, we'll get the streaming shit figured out. We'll try to sync it up with when we drop videos. But yo, I said we got one viewer. We got one viewer. We're just waiting for some more people to get up in here because I want to talk about just talk about some things in the NFL. But I found this good article and it says 5th year option tracker for first round picks, 2023 NFL draft. Just go through the list, dude. See some of these. Talk about some of these players a little bit. But pretty decent draft. I'm being real with you. Pretty decent draft, man. If you're watching the stream right now, say what's up in the chat. Say what's up. So I know you're not a phantom. So I know I'm not just like seeing shit. You know what I mean? I know some. I ain't no big YouTuber if we could just have it modded and shit or however they do it. Real authenticity. 5th year option tracker for first round picks. 2023 NFL draft. Honestly, fuck it, dude. Let's just go through it because who knows how many viewers I'm gonna get, right? But yeah, I thought this was an interesting article. It's published. I guess it was updated today, but not a bad list though, bro. Like 5th year option tracker for first round picks in the 2023 NFL draft, right? And I going through, I'm like, damn, there's actually some pretty solid. There's some pretty solid names in here, bro. Like sometimes when you go back and look at these drafts, you're like, yo, that draft was actually pretty solid. That was actually a pretty solid draft. But let's just go start going through it, man. So let me see. We got okay, so first round pick we had Bryce Young. And then second CJ Stroud. And it's interesting with CJ Stroud and Bryce Young. Um when it came to Bryce Young, we saw it start out so rocky for him, right? And CJ Stroud went out and had a phenomenal rookie year, but it seems like it's like at a deadlock right now. Because even though CJ Stroud has got his team to the playoffs and shit, I mean the Panthers got into the playoffs this past year, right? Because I'm pretty. Who did they play? They played the Los Angeles Rams, and that was a good game. That was a good game, bro. I honestly thought that the Panthers had a real shot at winning that game. But if you look at both of those QBs right now, it's even for me. It honestly is even for me. Like I don't think that CJ Stroud is leaps and bounds better than Bryce Young because we've been watching CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans have like they got real problems on their offensive line. Like that's no question. But along with the offensive line not being good, you can just see it and you can tell that there's clear regression from CJ Stroud. And like just some of the shit that he does out on the field, it's like, bro, he's not all there. He's rushed. You know what I mean? Part of that is being the offensive line, but you could tell some of it's just like some fine tuning that CJ Stroud is gonna have to do in this offseason. And I know some people have been talking about him possibly getting traded and shit. And the GM came out and said they're like, bro, we're like keeping him. As they should. They should keep CJ Stroud. Like possibility of trading him or not re-signing him with his 5th year option is absolutely insane when you know he has the capability of being good. But CJ Stroud does have to play better, man. He does. And then you look at his counterpart, Bryce Young in Carolina, and the talk was the Bryce Young, he was too small. He was too small, but you look at the Carolina Panthers, they weren't good right off the bat. People were questioning their coach. The whole roster was just kind of like, eh. But in reality, this past year, it was like, oh shit, Bryce Young can play. Now the biggest problem with Bryce Young right now is that he's just super inconsistent. He's so inconsistent. He can be up so high, or he can just it's just like, what am I watching right now? But the Panthers are they're starting to build their squad. Like they're not at the level of like the Houston Texans, especially the Houston Texans like defense, but they're trying to support Bryce Young. So we'll see if Bryce Young can really like turn up in this next year because it's. I feel like CJ Stroud. Okay, so I feel like they're at a deadlock. I feel like they're pretty even, but CJ Stroud's done more for his team, and Houston Texans have been getting into the playoffs. For Bryce Young, yes, they did get in the playoffs this past season, but they clearly need to do more, and Bryce Young needs to have a full season on his plate. That's what CJ Stroud had. That's what Bryce Young just hasn't had yet. A full season of just showing he can play for a full year. You know what I mean? And it not being a straight up roller coaster every single week, not knowing what the fuck we're getting with the Carolina Panthers. So that's just kind of the way I feel about that. But mm, I don't know. Maybe they franchise tag Bryce Young. I expect CJ Stroud to get a long like a 4 to 5 year extension would be my guess. But I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong on that. I could be wrong on that. I don't know when. I don't know if they're gonna sign him in this offseason or what. But that's the way I see it. Then we go to the third pick, Will Anderson. Will Anderson is just a freak. Will Anderson is like a top edge rusher in the league right now, dude. Whenever I watch Houston Texans games, I no shade towards CJ Stroud, but I watch Houston Texans games to watch their defense. Their defense is so loaded, dude. The way D'Amico Ryans coached in San Francisco is the same type of shit that you're getting in the Houston Texans. And I feel like the Houston Texans got more dogs than San Francisco when San Francisco had all those players, bro. I really do. Like the Houston Texans they're building something special there, bro. That offense just needs to turn up. But along with that, Will Anderson, every single game I watch him and Hunter, they were getting so many hits on the QB. Like, I don't know if you guys watched that one game um with who was it? Buffalo versus Houston. And bro, I'm telling you, um, I'm telling you, Josh Allen literally couldn't even run away from Will Anderson. Get my words mixed up. He couldn't even run away. And to like basically end it, the defense ended it for the Buffalo Bills. But I don't know if you saw, but they threw this pass like out into the flat to the running back, if I remember right. And freaking Will Anderson was right off the edge, bro. He almost picked it. He was this close. Like he was not going for a bat, bro. He was going for a straight up pick, and he was gonna take that thing for 6. He was straight up gonna take that shit for 6. And holy shit, if he would have capped off the game with that, it would have been absolutely nuts. He was already having a crazy game, so they're absolutely gonna exercise Will Anderson's 5th year option. Hell, he might be even getting they're not gonna let go of him. He is gonna be getting a monster contract, and dude deserves it, bro. He's been balling out. You know what I mean? All right, then we go to pick 4, Indianapolis Colts, Anthony Richardson, and even I even made a video with Anthony Richardson hyping him up. We saw him out of Florida, super athletic, goes to the Indianapolis Colts, and he just hasn't put it together, man. He just has not put it together. I remember when Anthony Richardson was drafted, people talked about how raw he was as a prospect, and it just hasn't been it. You know what I mean? Like it just has not been it, and it's not like he's not getting good offensive coaching because he has Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen knows what he's doing. We just saw Daniel Jones have literally a career resurgence, right? So like, it's not like he didn't have weapons there. He had 2 good wide receivers. He had a good rookie tight end, and obviously, Anthony Richardson. Okay, I need to backtrack. So I'm going too crazy. Anthony Richardson didn't play with those players, but before that, they did have good players on the squad. It's not like he didn't have any good players. But yeah, I remember the whole thing with Anthony Richardson. I'm too tired. Checks himself out. I was like, you're a fucking QB. Like, what you mean, bro? Like, you ain't running like the wide receiver, the corner, the linebacker, the safety, you know what I mean? Like all those guys, the tight end. What do you mean? What do you mean? But that guy clearly has some maturing to do. I don't know if he can really like turn around his career at this point. I remember people talking about a couple good teams like trying to pick him up. I don't really know there, but right now Anthony Richardson is straight up looking like a bust, and the Colts ain't keeping him. The Colts are not keeping him. He's still in the squad right now, but I'm like, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. Um, Arizona Cardinals, they had the sixth pick in that draft. And they selected Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle. And dude, I'm trying to brush up on like offensive linemen and be better with it, but I want to get a little bit larger when I start talking about offensive linemen. Um, but he's a good player. He's a good player for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, you look at the Arizona Cardinals as a whole, their offense really ain't that bad, bro. They really not that bad with Jacoby Brissett. Like, yo, Jacoby, bro, he's not bad. Now I know that's not the guy that they're probably looking for the future, but I'm like, yo, they got some tools there on the offensive side, skilled position. And Paris Johnson Jr. I mean, hell yeah, they're gonna exercise his fifth year option. Absolutely, dude. He's a good player, and he anchors. I'm I've just been really like I've just been really impressed by his play. And you see some people talk about the Arizona Cardinals, and if I remember, at just some of the games I've watched with Paris Johnson Jr., he's kind of been up and down at times. But I mean, I feel like that's a guy that they're gonna want to keep around. You know, I don't think that they're not gonna exercise his fifth year option. Matter of fact, looking at it right now, it looks like even the Arizona Cardinals GM Monty Austin for Tully Porter's on. Did he tell him today? Oh shit, he told him today that they're definitely gonna exercise his fifth year option. So that's good. It's good to hear. I'm just gonna talk some of these guys that I just haven't really watched. I'm not even gonna talk about them in this draft. I'm just gonna talk about some of the guys that I really know in this draft and have watched a lot of. Like Las Vegas Raiders, Tyree Wilson. I just haven't really been watching a lot of Tyree Wilson, so I couldn't tell you if they're gonna sign him or not or how good he's been playing. But that would lead us. Okay, so we go from sixth pick, Paris Johnson. Seventh was Tyree Wilson, and then eighth in the 2023 draft was Atlanta Falcons, Bijan Robinson. And don't get me started on Bijan Robinson, dude. I think Bijan Robinson, mm, man, he may be the best back in the NFL. Now, I know statistically wise, you can't sit there and say that he's not the best in like, oh well, he's not the top rusher, he's not the top receiving, but I'm like, he could be there. He could be there. It'll be interesting with the shakeup with um freaking Stefanski coming over. I've heard talks about like people saying that maybe the Atlanta Falcons would trade Bijan Robinson. Maybe they'd entertain that. I think that'd be absolutely insane. I think it would literally be insane. Um, because that's the one guy that I feel like you don't want to get rid of on that team. He is maybe the best player on the Atlanta Falcons right now. Yeah. Getting rid of Bijan would be insane, and they're absolutely gonna exercise his fifth year option. Absolutely. We'll see how much they pay Bijan Robinson. I bet you Bijan Robinson, Jameer Gibbs, they're probably gonna be making record money. Just expect it. Like it would not shock me. All right, so we go from the eighth pick to the ninth pick, Jalen Carter. My boy JC down in Philly, up in Philly. Uh, no, dude, Jalen Carter. It's really interesting right now with speaking of Jalen Carter, right? So if you don't know, I'm an Eagles fan. You can see the shit right there. I got a flag back there. I got a bunch of stuff in this room, Philly. But I'm a crazy fan like the rest of them. But no, dude, they're definitely gonna keep Jalen Carter. They're definitely gonna keep Jalen Carter. And they just signed Jordan Davis. And I think the Eagles have like 33, 34 million dollars in cap space right now. And I'm expecting them to re-sign Jalen Carter. And Jalen Carter is going to get a lot of money. I'm telling you that right now. He is going to get a lot of money, dude. He is so good. He is so good. I know all the talk about the shit pre-draft with him, but aside from that, just talking football, Jalen Carter is he's gonna sign him to a pretty damn big contract. And yeah, man. So going from pick nine, Jalen Carter to pick 10, Chicago Bears, Darnell Wright. And I've watched a lot of Bears games. Um, I would assume the Bears are gonna keep Darnell Wright. Um, Darnell Wright's been a little bit inconsistent, and if I remember right, Darnell Wright's been like banged up too. Let me look this up real quick. Pro Football Focus. I gotta look at games played and all that shit. But I don't. Maybe I'm tripping, bro, but I feel like Darnell Wright has not been fully healthy for the Chicago Bears. Maybe he has. I should call my nephew and ask him. Let's see. Oh shit, man. Maybe he has been healthy. Maybe he has been healthy. But honestly, Darnell Wright is like whenever I watch their games, he's actually pretty solid. That was a good pick. I know a lot of people gave them shit about passing up on Jalen Carter, but it's like, dude, have you been watching Bears QBs been getting pounded in the backfield? Like I would prioritize pass rush if your offensive line can't block for your quarterback over a fucking pass rusher. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Both are in the trenches. Both are, I mean, super important, right? But you got to keep your quarterback up, right? If your quarterback can't freaking play, then what chance do you have in this league? And Darnell Wright, I'd expect the Chicago Bears to re-sign him with the 5th-year option, give him a 5th-year option. But I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Let's go back. All right, then that will lead us Tennessee Titans. Peter Skoronsky, offensive tackle. Haven't watched enough, can't tell you. So I'll go from pick 11. I'll go from pick 11 to pick 12. Detroit Lions, Jameer Gibbs. I mean, speaking of Jameer Gibbs, it's like the same thing with Bijan Robinson. You know, CMC is still doing his thing. He's still honestly good. There's other top backs in the league as well, right? Derrick Henry, uh, freaking Saquon Barkley. I could go off. But Jameer Gibbs and freaking Bijan Robinson, I put a poll on my page, like on my post. If you scroll down, I don't know who's better. I don't because Jameer Gibbs, I remember when he was at Bama, dude, you could just see the explosiveness in his speed. And then he comes over to the Detroit Lions and he is absolutely insane. Some people might say Amon Ra's the best player on their offense. You know, I feel like most people wouldn't say it's JMO, but I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure Jameer Gibbs is the best player on their team. Well, I don't know about their team besides Hutchinson, but on their offense, dude, Jameer Gibbs is so explosive and he is so exciting to watch. You talk in terms of like Bijan, pass catching running back. Jameer Gibbs is the same. He can pass catch, he can run, dude. He can do everything, and he's so fast because it's like Bijan Robinson is fast, but Jameer Gibbs has that speed that like he can stop on a dime and then start back right back up. You know how like Tyreek Hill can like stop then start back up his speed like really fast, like it's like 0 to 1,000. That's the same vibes I get from Jameer Gibbs as in terms of running back. He's that type of dude. His startup and go is insane. And the Detroit Lions, like Bijan Robinson with the Atlanta Falcons, they're gonna give him a shit ton of money. Like they literally, we've seen the Lions fuck up a lot, right? We've seen players literally leave just because of the franchise. They would be insane not to give that dude like mad money, which they're gonna. We go from that. We go to Green Bay Packers, Lucas Van Ness. And Van Ness ain't a bad player. Lucas Van Ness ain't a bad player. Let's look up his shit. It's Van Ness. I'm just like curious if they're even gonna sign him. I mean, there's not much talk about him even being signed to a 5th-year option. I, I this is one where I'm like, are the Packers gonna kind of just let him go, or are they gonna keep him? I have no idea, dude. When it comes to the Packers and like signing certain players, I have a real hard time guessing with that team. So I'm curious if they're gonna sign him to a 5th-year option. I don't know. I don't think he's a bad player though. Like I feel like he's a guy you'd want to have around, but I don't know. They got some shit to figure out on that defense. When Micah's out, stuff gets weird. Stuff gets weird really fast. Let's go from that. All right, so from pick 13 to pick 14, Broderick Jones. Um, Broderick Jones ain't bad. Now let's talk about. So we'll go from pick 14 to pick 15. Will McDonald. Uh, I've watched the Jets. I haven't watched the Jets enough, but I do know that Will McDonald. I'm almost certain that they're gonna exercise his 5th-year option. I'm almost certain they're gonna exercise his fifth year option. He's a good player, dude. He's a good player, and the Jets don't have a lot of quality guys on their team right now. And the guys that are even just solid, maybe not even good, they got to keep him on the squad. So I definitely expect them to sign him to his fifth year option. And then that would lead us to okay, so from Will McDonald to Los Angeles Rams, Emmanuel Forbes. And I made a video on Emmanuel Forbes, dude, just a little film video. And I really like Emmanuel Forbes. I really do like Emmanuel Forbes. I'm interested to see what they do with him, especially bringing over Trent McDuffie and who is it? Is it Jalen Watson, the other corner from freaking Kansas City? I mean, they're both starters, so I'm like, do you? I don't know. I don't know. I really like Emmanuel Forbes. I know the Los Angeles Rams defense really struggled in the passing game on the second half of the season, but I don't know. I see some Rams fans that were kind of negative on Emmanuel Forbes. I think he's a good player. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. With Watson, along with McDuffie is the clear like star. I mean, it shows in the details, right? Like they give him that monster ass contract. So I'm interested to see if they sign like Emmanuel Forbes to an extension. I just don't know, man. They Another thing that will tie into it is they gotta prepare for signing Puka Nacua. They're gonna need to give Puka Nacua a monster contract, so that kind of plays into it as well. Then we go from pick 16. Oh, and another thing I forgot to mention with Forbes. Forbes was he was drafted by the Commanders. So that wasn't the Rams aren't his original team. He's drafted the Commanders. I would know because I remember I remember AJ Brown punking his ass, dude. He was just a kid. I felt bad. But yeah, so we're going from pick 16. Just a reminder for anybody new tuning in. 2023 NFL draft, just going over players that might get a fifth year option and might not. But so we go from pick 16 to pick 17. New England Patriots, Christian Gonzalez, dude. I don't even need to really go crazy as in terms when it comes to Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez is absolutely absurd. He is absolutely absurd, dude. Christian Gonzalez. Okay, so let me look this up. So some people want to talk about top corners in the league, right? My biggest indicator when it comes to top of the league. So Broncos fans were getting upset with me, right? Because they're like, "Oh, you're not gonna say Patrick Surtain isn't the best." I'm like, "No, I think he's the best," but I'm like, "This last year, I don't think he was." Like, it is that crazy to say? Like, I don't think every corner is gonna have a top season every single year. But let me just look at this, bro, because I gotta fact check myself on this because I'm always looking at shit on corners. Last time I checked, him and Quinyon Mitchell were at like the top of the position as in terms of cornerback with the highest amount of free like a shit ton of passes thrown at them, and they both have like the lowest completion percentage with like 50% or more of snaps for the full season. But let me double check. That's a crazy stat in itself, dude. But let's double check. Let's double check real quick. Don't get mad at me. Have some patience. All right. So we're gonna go minimum coverage snaps 50%. And then from there, okay, so we're on corners. And then from there, in coverage, we'll go receiving percentage. All right, and we're gonna go to the lowest. So let's see how low we go. All right, so out of 69 corners that played like 50% or more of snaps. Yeah, it's just like I remember because I've been looking this stuff up in the offseason. So Christian Gonzalez is dude, it's insane. So he has how many targets does he have, dude? So he's holy shit. He is targeted 106 times. He's given up 46 receptions, has a 43.4 completion percentage on him. That is literally the lowest in the league out of corners that played 50% or more snaps, dude. Absolutely insane. Like, people can sit here and talk and be like, no, so and so's the best, so and so's the best. I feel like the corner that has like the most targets, along with giving up the least amount of completions, is probably the best corner in the league right now. Like, you could probably crown him a number one, but hey, there's other things that tie into it, right? Like, some people talk about zone versus man and run defense. There's just a lot of things that go into it. But Christian Gonzalez is good. Like Pats fans have a real argument to Christian Gonzalez being the best corner in the league, and they better sign him, dude, because I've been looking up things on Christian Gonzalez, and I haven't been seeing a lot of them like giving him the 5th-year option. That dude's gonna demand like top dollar. Like it's like record breaking corner money. Yeah, straight up. So Christian Gonzalez, I'm expecting a 5th-year option. We'll see what the Pats do, but you better give that dude mad money, bro. Mad money. Oh, we're gonna skip a couple picks just because Jack Campbell. I'm like, he's the 18th pick, Detroit Lions. Uh, Kalijah Kancey. And some of these guys might be good, but dude, I pay attention to a lot of players in the NFL. There's some guys I just haven't watched enough and paid attention to enough for me to talk about. So if you want to, just put it in the chat and I'll like make a video and I'll literally like do a film review on them. Because that's why I do film reviews sometimes. Just some players I didn't really watch in season, do a film review on them, and I'm like, oh shit, they actually played pretty damn good football. So yeah, so we're gonna go from pick 17, Christian Gonzalez. Skip pick 18, skip pick 19. We're gonna go to 20, and we're gonna go to Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle Seahawks. And we already know Jackson Smith and Jigba literally got a 4-year, $168.6 million contract on March 23rd. He literally just, dude, making him the top paid wide receiver. Some people were a little bit upset about it. Like, he's not the best. He's not the best wide receiver. And I kind of tend to agree with that. I don't think he's the best, but I don't know, man. You have a season like he just had. Your team goes to the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl. It's a pretty good case for you getting paid top dollar. So him getting paid what he did doesn't really shock me. Like if okay, say it was on my team, I'd be like, shit, that's a lot of money allocated to one player. But pretty sure Seattle still has money to spend, and they're gonna need to spend it on their defense. So I don't know. I like it. They got to keep him around. That's a guy they got to keep around, dude. All right, and that will lead us from pick 20 to pick 21. Los Angeles Chargers, Quentin Johnston. And Quentin Johnston, yeah, dude, it's pretty interesting with Quentin Johnston because I saw speculation. I fucking hate NFL speculations, by the way. As an Eagles fan, yeah, you know why. You know why. Some people are speculating that Quentin Johnston might get traded, and then I'm pretty sure I saw the GM. He like came out and he like talked about it, and he's like, no, like that dude's not going anywhere. So I'm expecting the Los Angeles Chargers to keep him around. Especially bringing over Mike McDaniel because Quentin Johnston, he's a burner. And, I made a video recently talking about Ladd McConkey. I think that Quentin Johnston and Ladd and in a scheme like Mike McDaniel's, I expect them to both thrive. Especially Quentin Johnston being like the downfield burner and like Ladd McConkey being like the quick, like twitchy guy. I'm expecting a big year. But I don't even know why the fuck people would talk about him being traded. Sometimes when those 5th-year options come up, people just be throwing out names. I mean, hell, I did it on a couple players, but it was George Pickens, and we're talking about George Pickens and Drake London. Like those are guys that contract talk is a little weird. So yeah, Brian, I just honestly don't understand why the fuck they would get rid of Quentin Johnston unless they can for sure land another wide receiver in the draft, and that's just not for sure at their pick. All right, then for pick 21 to pick 22, Baltimore Ravens, Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers, I absolutely love Zay Flowers. My one thing with Zay Flowers, though, is that the Baltimore Ravens treat him like a number one. He's not a number one wide receiver. Zay Flowers is extremely good. And I expect the Baltimore Ravens to want to keep him around. I do. Because him and Lamar, they have pretty good rapport. They do. So I'd expect them to keep him around, especially with like them not knowing what's going on with Mark Andrews. Isaiah likely goes to the New York Giants. That's a guy you got to keep around. You want to add another wide receiver like Baltimore. If there's a couple wide receivers that fall to them at that pick, I'd want them to pick up another wide receiver to be opposite of Zay Flowers. But yeah, I really think they should pay Zay Flowers and give that dude his dough. Not a lot though. Don't overpay Zay Flowers. Too many fumbles in key situations, but they should keep him around. All right, then we go to pick 22 to pick 23 in the 2023 NFL Draft. Minnesota Vikings, Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison, extremely underrated in my opinion. You know, a lot of talk about Justin Jefferson. Jettas gets a lot of like attention around there. But Jordan Addison is pretty damn good football player. He is. I'm not gonna sit here and like be like, oh well, yeah, he could be a number one on another team. Maybe not, but you feed that guy the ball and he's going to torch and burn defenses. Whether it's a post, a go ball, you know, a deep dig, a little whip route out in the flat, like anything. He can literally do anything. And he's a very quick wide receiver with really good footwork. And just the way, you know, with the KOC offense, I'd expect them to exercise Jordan Addison's 5th-year option. So, yeah, and it even says it right here. It says the Vikings announced on March 30th. Some of this shit, I see it and then I just forget later. They intend to exercise Jordan Addison's 5th-year option. Yeah, I figured because he's that good. All right, and then we go 24 Giants, Deontay Banks. I'm gonna skip that one. We'll go to pick 25, Buffalo Bills, Dalton Kincaid. And okay, so it says Bills GM Brandon Beane told reporters on March 30th that the team has exercised Kincaid's 5th-year option. Like what, dude? Okay, Dalton Kincaid was not. I watched him at Utah. Dalton Kincaid is not the guy I watched in Utah. I mean, at times you see it, but I was expecting this dude to be a top tight end in the league. Now I'm pretty sure Dalton Kincaid has been banged up. Like we know, like tight ends just kind of tend to get banged up. It's a tough position. But Dalton Kincaid really hasn't been what I was expecting from him, especially with the lack of um lack of wide receiver play from the Buffalo Bills. You'd expect him and Knox to kind of go off, honestly, because I mean that's the way the Buffalo Bills offense is, right? This last year it was literally hand the ball off to James Cook, throw to the tight ends. Every now and then you'd hit the wide receivers whenever the wide receivers wanted to play good, right? But I just don't feel like Dalton Kincaid has really lived up to expectations. Maybe just my expectations, but I don't even like. I don't know. I don't know. You franchise tag that guy, give him a 2 year, give him a 3 year extension, but you're not paying him a lot. But you'd want to keep him around. But he's been a little bit underwhelmed by Dalton Kincaid. Still think he's a good player though. All right, then we go to pick 26. That's Mozzie Smith. He's now in the New York Jets. He was in that trade, you know, that the Cowboys made at the Jets. And he originally on the Cowboys, got traded to the Jets. But Mozzie Smith that dude hasn't been it. Like, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't say, I don't know, bro. I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he's not. The way people hyped him up and the way people thought he could play, he's not it. He's not it. But, you know, for the for the fucking New York Jets, maybe that's enough because right now they got a bunch of young guys on their squad that they just kind of need to figure out just who's decent. I feel like who's decent and who can help them. They're not going to be contending, but who can go out there and make it competitive out on the football field. So for Mozzie Smith, I'm like, yeah. I don't know if the New York Jets are going to exercise this 5th-year option. They're a team in a very weird position, man. I just can't figure it out with them with their certain players. So that's up for grabs right now. And then that leads us from pick 26 to pick 27, Jacksonville Jaguars. And Anton Harrison, offensive tackle. Says Jaguars GM James Gladstone told reporters on March 30th that the team will exercise Harrison's 5th-year option. And I think he's a good player. I do. Um I feel sometimes the pressure on um with the Jacksonville Jaguars, sometimes it's Trevor Lawrence, dude. Because Trevor Lawrence will get happy feet and he'll like literally bail out of the pocket. Now I know some players do that, right? I'm not gonna sit here and act like some players don't do that. But he does fucking tend to do that too much. And as a result of that, I feel like some people, like they blame the offensive line, but it's like it's not fully the offensive line. But I think he's a good tackle though. I do. In run blocking, pass blocking, he's definitely a guy that you're going to keep around. I mean, just looking at it right here, It looks like 2025 was easily his best season. Easily. Had only 6 holding penalties or 6 total penalties. That's not bad at all. I really like the Jags, dude. There's a lot of players on the team that I like, and Anton Harrison, yeah, dude, he's pretty solid tackle. So yeah, I'm expect just like it said, they're gonna exercise his 5th year option. They said on March 30th. That's a guy that you definitely want to keep around. And we go from that. So we'll go from pick 28th, Miles Murphy. Gonna skip that one. Pick 29th, Brian Breesy, defensive tackle. I'm gonna skip that one. Gonna go to pick 30, um, Nolan Smith. Nolan, I'm gonna be real with you, dude, and this come from an Eagles fan. If you're a team that needs like outside edge, um, outside rushing edge linebacker, right? Nolan Smith is a guy that you want on your team, and I'm kind of concerned that the Eagles aren't going to re-sign him. And the reason being is that the Eagles just have way too many young guys right now that they're going to have to sign on that defense. And I think that Nolan Smith is the one odd guy out. I do. Well, okay. There's a possibility they keep him. There is a real possibility they keep him. But I don't know. Like even before the offseason started, I was like, there's a real chance that I think that Nakobe Dean and Nolan Smith, after this upcoming year, I'm like, I don't know if Nolan Smith is gonna be on the team. But I don't know. We're just gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see. So I'm like, dude, I don't know if Howie Roseman like I didn't know if they'd like exercise like possibly like trading him or not. It's just really like tough. Um when you have so many guys on your defense on one side of the ball that are good. You can only keep so many guys, you know what I mean? And I just don't know if Howie Roseman is going to keep Nolan Smith. I have no idea. I really want him. But if you're another team that needs a guy, your team just so happened to get Nolan Smith after this, next year going into the 2027 year, you're getting a good player. So we'll see what happens right there. All right, then I'm gonna wrap it up right there for that thing, dude. So we just went through all of the 5th year option trackers for first round picks from the 2023 NFL draft. Obviously, I skipped some guys because just some of them I haven't watched them play enough, and I really couldn't evaluate for you how good you play. So if you guys want me to go back over them, you want me to make a full film review on that player that I skipped, just say something, drop it in my Instagram. I know I don't have the handle on here, but you've seen it in my videos. Go to my videos. Just drop it in my DMs, and I'll literally make a video on it for sure. See what else is going on in the NFL, man. All right, so we talked about Bryce Young and CJ Stroud's futures. I talked about that in this video, by the way. Um, oh, and that's another thing tying back to the Eagles. I know I'm talking about the Eagles a lot, but I just got to talk about my team. I'm excited for the draft. Howie Roseman is on a fucking heater right now. He is on a heater, dude. Like, let me just look this up. I'm sorry, I should have looked it up before. Um, Dude, ever since Chip Kelly got fired, Howie's literally been on a heater. After he fucked up on the Justin Jefferson miss, right? He's been cooking. He really has. But let me look this up because I just want to tell you guys that are non-Eagles fans just how good he's been drafting. And there's lots of teams that their GMs hit on multiple picks, right? But I just noticed for mine, I'm like, holy shit, dude! It's like picks 1, 2, 3, boom, 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 back to back, back to back, back to back. There's other teams that we see they're like struggling right now because the draft picks haven't been good, and it starts to catch up with the team sooner or later. So let me see if I can find this list of Howie Roseman. It's kind of nuts. Ah, bro, you see that's why I got screenshot this shit. Is there anything I can find on here? Let me do this. Howie Roseman's past 5 drafts. Yeah, we got 5 viewers in here. Anybody want to put anything in the chat? Say hi or something, man. You guys are making me feel lonely up in here. You guys are making me feel lonely. Nah, I'm playing. I know some couple people watching. Couple people watching. Be sure to drop a like. If you're new, be sure to subscribe. But be sure to drop a like so we can push it out in the algorithm. I know this ain't fucking Twitch or some shit, right? But try to get as many people in here as we can. Get more people in the chat. Give me more things to talk about too, instead of just scrolling on X. But yeah, okay. So 2021 to 2025. I'm just tell you. I'm just tell you, right? So 2021, uh, Howie Roseman, and then Howie Roseman and Nick. They got Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson, Milton Williams, Kenny Gainwell, right? So first, second, third, and fifth round. Literally every single one of those dudes contributed to the Super Bowl, by the way. They contributed to the Eagles getting the Super Bowl doing what they've done in these past, 2022 and in 2024. Devontae Smith, obviously, starter opposite of A.J. Brown. Landon Dickerson, absolutely love him. He dealt with injuries, but, you know, when Landon Dickerson is healthy, he's phenomenal at left guard. Defensive tackle Milton Williams. If you're a Pats fan, you guys signed him for a ton of money. You guys signed him for a ton of money. Right after the Birds won the Super Bowl, and then Gainwell goes to the Steelers. But all those were hits. Even though Gainwell wasn't some incredible back, he mattered for Philadelphia. So like he hit on every single one of those. 2022 draft, we got Jordan Davis in the first contributor, major contributor, starter. Cam Jurgens, he's been struggling, bro. He's been struggling with injuries, especially with his back, and I don't know if that affected his play this last year, but it wasn't good. It may have been because of his back. I'm just saying that right now. So he was the second pick, linebacker Nakobe Dean. I remember Nakobe Dean. People were hella dogging on Nakobe Dean. They're like, oh, you need Devin Lloyd. And Nakobe Dean, he's been banged up a little bit, but let me tell you something about that dude. He is really, really good at football. Yeah. And Vic Fangio, when he started playing for Vic Fangio brought out the best in Nakobe Dean, dude. He really did. And he's gonna do phenomenal with the Las Vegas Raiders. And I'm so pumped for him over there. But all of those guys were hits, dude. And then you go to the 2023 NFL draft. They got Jalen Carter, that's back-to-back Bulldogs, right? And then they got Nolan Smith later in the first round, who we just talked about at the end of the 2023 NFL draft. Tyler Steen, he's a right guard. He's currently a starter on the Eagles, and he's been up and down, but he's a major contributor. And then that's the first three rounds. And then Sidney Brown and Keely Ringo. Sidney got traded. Keely Ringo's kind of a role guy, plays special teams. They're solid picks, but they're not. They're not like the first three, right? And then you go to 2024 NFL draft. And by the way, let me just note this. There was a time period where I was like, why does Howie not select SEC players? Why? Why does he not select SEC players? Sure enough, right as Howie Roseman started selecting all of these SEC players, the Eagles got so much better. And I'm not sitting here saying SEC is clearly the best conference, because we've been seeing other conferences have been playing better than the SEC. But there's a lot of good players you can plug into NFL systems, and they do pretty good. So once Howie Roseman started doing that, it's not really a shocker to me that the Eagles started turning up on defense. Homegrown talent, too, not free agents. And then we go to the 2024 NFL draft. Quinyon Mitchell, like I said about Q, we talked about Christian Gonzalez with that insane. Let me look it up. Christian Gonzalez with that insane completion percentage. And let's see if I can go back far enough. Yeah, so Christian Gonzalez with that insane completion percentage. And guess who's right behind him? Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell, dude, literally is right behind Christian Gonzalez. And I see some people sometimes are like, oh, you Eagles fans, you guys overrate Quinyon Mitchell. It's like, no, go and watch the tape, dude. It's like Quinyon Mitchell is literally playing like a top 5 corner in the league. You can even put him higher if you wanted to. You really could. Because some people are just putting names off of there just because of like past play and past years. But like I said with Christian Gonzalez, freaking 106 targets, 46 receptions, with 43.4 completion percentage gave up. Quinyon Mitchell is right behind him with 87 targets, 38 what is it? Yeah, 87 targets, 38 given up with 43.7. That's how far it is between them. They have a high amount of targets in that completion percentage, bro. When people sit there and talk as in terms of like corners in coverage, Quinyon Mitchell's insane. I know I'm going off on Quinyon Mitchell, Brian, but I had to talk about my boy. And then you talk about Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean, I could literally go off on Cooper DeJean just like I did Q because I literally love them both the same. Like Cooper DeJean, people were like, "Oh, he's a safety, he's a safety." You see those funny ass videos out there, but Cooper DeJean has been so good in the slot, and Vic just doesn't want to move him. Like he literally could probably play outside if he wanted to. Like I've seen Cooper DeJean go 1v1 with fucking Puka Nakua, like no problem. I've literally seen him stride with CD Lamb. Even though CD Lamb has caught some pretty big passes on Cooper DeJean, Cooper DeJean has sticky ass coverage, and he's a little bit more physical than Quinyon Mitchell. That's the one thing he has going for him. He's a little bit of a larger corner than Quinyon Mitchell, but it's not far. But yeah, dude. And then you go from Q at 1, Cooper DeJean at 2, then Jalix Hunt at 3. Jalix Hunt, I mean, he it was kind of up and down this year. He led the Eagles in sacks though. He led the Eagles in sacks, and I'm like, us Birds fans, we were thinking that Nolan Smith was going to be the guy that's kind of our Brandon Graham. But I'm like, what if it's Jalix Hunt? And Jalix Hunt in the Super Bowl, he was doing some crazy shit against that KC offensive line. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I'm so excited about that guy. I hope that he really turns up in this next season and still leads the Eagles in sacks. And then you go to this 2025 NFL draft, and this one's kind of up in the air because Jahad Campbell. Actually, I'll say this: Jahad Campbell was actually really good. He's actually really good. He just struggled with things that Nakobe Dean didn't struggle with. Like Jahad Campbell, um, you could just tell that he wasn't as polished and he just didn't know the game as much as Nakobe Dean. Because once Nakobe Dean got back in for Philly, the run defense was so much better. And Jahad Campbell, a little bit undersized, like Nakobe Dean, right? Like Nakobe Dean. He just struggled in the run game, but he still played pretty damn good football, dude. Like overall, Pro Football Focus, just however you want to grade them. Some people have different opinions on Pro Football Focus, but they still graded him pretty high, dude. And I was pretty impressed. I was like, he's gonna be good for us. He's just gonna get better, just like Nakobe Dean, because Nakobe Dean got better over time for Philadelphia. So I'm expecting the same for Jahad. So he was the first pick, and then you got Drew Makuba at second. And Drew, bro, he was inconsistent, but you could just tell, like, it's like, oh, the Eagles got a starter in Drew Makuba. And he would go down with the injury, but it's like, bro, they had a guy. So all of those selections right there, bro. Like Howie Roseman is straight cooking like a motherfucker. Dead ass. Like nobody can say shit. I know a lot of people like to be like, oh, Howie's people talk about him like he's the best. People talk about Howie like he's the best. He is one of the best in the business. But like I said, there's other teams that draft really well too. Like you look at Seattle this past season, dude. Seattle, they've been on an absolute heater too. Like let's look at John Schneider's past picks. Let's just look at some. I'm not gonna go as in depth like I did with the Eagles, but let's just look at this shit. So John Schneider's last 5 drafts, because he's also a guy that just knows what he's doing. What? Does it have it at the top like it did with Howie? Damn, bro. See if I can find something though. Look at that handsome fella. All right, let's see. This shit is way too confusing, bro. It's like a graph. Forget it. All I know is that the Seattle Seahawks, they got to the Super Bowl by building out their roster. They did. Like John Schneider drafted really good on defense. You know, do you guys remember when they got both the left tackle and right tackle? I'm forgetting their names. Who were the Seattle Seahawks left and right tackle? I remember when they hit on both of them. I was like, who the fuck hits on a left and right tackle in the same draft? John Schneider does. Let's look at this. John Schneider. I need to do more videos on Seattle Seahawks, by the way, dude. They need some more love. It's just their fans are weird. Either they watch shit or they don't, dude. Let's look. Oh yeah, dude, yeah. Charles Cross, left tackle, selected in 2022 NFL Draft, Mississippi. And then their right tackle, freaking Abraham Lucas, who was selected in the third 2022 NFL draft. Like, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy just how some GMs will just like straight cook. Like they're just on a heater. And you see it. Like if they select good, it makes your team instantly good. It makes them contenders right away. And so, you can bring in free agents and shit and make your team good. We've seen it. We literally watched the Los Angeles Rams add a bunch of guys. They went to the Super Bowl. But when you draft just really well, your team is set up for like long-term success. Even if they're not winning Super Bowls, they're still going to be in the big dance. Like you look at the San Francisco 49ers right now, the biggest thing with the San Francisco 49ers is that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, they haven't drafted good. They haven't been drafting good in like the past 4 or 5 drafts, dude. And it's starting to catch up to them because like those guys that they hit on late in the later rounds, all the stars on their team, those guys are getting older. And they're going to need to replace those guys. And now you're seeing it with the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, all teams get injured, right? Obviously, with the 49ers, they were super injured, like way injured, more than I'd say more than any other team. The year previous, it was Detroit Lions. But when you draft really good, you have a lot of depth and you can just throw guys and plug guys in everywhere. But San Francisco 49ers, they didn't have that luxury. And partly why is because of John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan not freaking drafting good and not fucking prioritizing the offensive line. Like, that's one of the things that drives me nuts with the San Francisco 49ers. Like, you see Brock Purdy getting banged up and shit. And Brock Purdy, he runs around sometimes. He does run around. And I think a couple of his injuries, I think one of them this year, the toe turf or whatever, was partly because he scrambled. Like, he like ran and like got hit out of bounds or whatever. But he takes a lot of hits. And if Kyle Shanahan and them would take the trenches, like we mentioned 50 minutes ago or whatever earlier, if they took it more seriously, their life would be so much easier. Their run game would be better. The passing game would be better. You gotta draft good, man. You gotta draft good. That shit will catch up to you. No question. No question. All right, let's see what else. Put a couple things in my notes. Da-da-da. Brett Veach, huh? Kansas City's GM. He's anticipating. What does this say? Brett Veach. Brett Veach is expecting a lot of trades in the first round. He said, it should be an entertaining night, Veach said. There will be probably a lot of trades. Ooh. I wonder which of our teams are going to do some shit. That's what I'm curious about. That's what I'm curious about. Dude, I absolutely love when there's trades. I do. It makes the first round so exciting with just like a bunch of trades. Informed watcher, you're back. What's up, bro? What's up, bro? We back, baby. We back. Bro, can I like click on these? Let me see. I can pin the message? What the hell does that do? Message pinned? Do you guys see it? Do you guys see? Oh, maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll unpin it. Unpin message. Yo, did you guys see that on your screen or what? I don't know what I'm doing with live right now. I'm like trying to figure it out. But no, dude, that's pretty interesting though that Brett Veach said that. You know, I'm interested to see who does what. It showed it at the top of the chat. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. I gotta figure out how to put it like on the screen. You know what I mean? So like it like pops down in the bottom bar below me. I've seen other streamers do that, and I'm like, oh, that shit's clean. That shit's too clean. Do um, what else do we got? What else do we got? Dexter Lawrence situation. Money ain't the issue. Then what is it with Dexter Lawrence? What is it? Bro, right when things are starting to look good for the New York Giants, some shit like this comes out. Yeah. And I'll give it to the Giants. I'll give it to the Giants. Like, Dexter Lawrence did not have a good year this past year. He didn't. Like, I'm glad he said that though, that it's not about the money, because that's what I originally thought when it came to Dexter Lawrence. I was like, oh, he's just wanting a bunch of money. I was like, but he didn't have a good year. He didn't even record a single sack, bro. Like his tackles were, everything was just down for him. Like, let me look. Let's look at Dexter Lawrence stats. Sooner or later, I'll make it so you guys can just see it right next to my face, right? But I gotta figure out some shit. Let me see. Pro Football Focus. Dexter Lawrence. Pro Football Focus premium stats. Dude, people get upset with Pro Football Focus, and I do too, because some of their grading is just like whack, but some of their shit just doesn't match the eye test. Let's be real. But as in terms of like stats and some of that shit, dude, they're pretty spot on. And the reason I tell you they're spot on is because when I do film videos, certain things with like defensive backs and like players, it'll say like set stat, and I find the player doing that thing that they said in the game, it it matches up. Like I'd say like 92% of the no, I'd say like 94% of the time. Like Pro Football Focus is a good source. There's just a lot of other good things as well. So I get why people get upset, cuz I do too. But, something good to have in your back pocket. That's why I like to use it every now and then. But let's look at Dexter Lawrence's let's look at his past seasons, and let's look at this season. Okay, so in 2024, Dexter Lawrence had, how many games did he play though, dude? It looks like he played a full season. So, okay, so Dexter Lawrence in 2024 looks like he had 10 total sacks. In this past year, he had 0 sacks. 2024 looks like he had 5 hits. This past year, he had 7 hits. 2024, he had 21 hurries, 27 hurries this year. But let's look at his tackles. 23 tackles this last year, 2020, 22 tackles. From 23 tackles to 22 tackles. He just didn't record a bunch of sacks. He didn't record a bunch of sacks. I mean, he had more hurries, though. He did have more hurries. Maybe that's, they added fucking Abdul Carter. Maybe that had something to do with it. Whatever Abdul Carter was playing good, maybe that had something to do with it. But, no, that's interesting, though. If it's not about the money for Dexter Lawrence, then what is it? Does he not like Harbaugh? Is he not feeling Harbaugh? Is he not feeling the new DC? Like, who is the DC that they hired on, bro? Bro. Sometimes I hate saying that shit, but it just comes out so naturally every now and then. Let me see. New York Giants, DC. I forgot the name, bro. What is it? I said it again. Hey, roast me in the chat. Gotta stop saying that word. No more bro. No more dude. All right? Done enough of that shit today. Denard Wilson. Denard Wilson previously served as Tennessee Titans DC and brings an aggressive zone heavy. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe he's just not feeling the hire. Or maybe he's annoyed by some of his young teammates. Just making accusations. I'm just kidding. But that is weird because Harbaugh is a good coach and Dexter Lawrence has not had good coaches. He hasn't. And so for him talking about it's not about the money. It's like, okay, do you not like Harbaugh? Do you not like your GM? Do you not like your quarterback? Do you not believe in, the future with Jackson Dart? Because the little bit I watched of Jackson Dart, I watched like 4 games of Jackson Dart. The one where they whooped the Eagles' ass, I saw so much live in MetLife Stadium. So much live. And I was like, these fans love Jackson Dart. So I don't think it'd be the QB, but hell, maybe, I don't know. I have no idea why Dexter Lawrence doesn't want to be there anymore. But I do find it interesting. I don't really know what the Giants would like get as in terms of like trade value for him though, because he had a down year. Even though some of those stats really weren't that far off, I'm sure in like trade talks they could just bring up the sacks. You know? I don't know. Let's see what else we can find on here. Let's see what else we can find. I got a lot of Eagles shit on here, man. A lot. Damn, bro. Too much Howie. Too much Howie. Oh, dude, it's because on my ex, I had Howie Roseman search because I was looking for those draft picks. Why didn't y'all tell me? You guys knew what I was doing. Titans GM said Sony Styles is not comparable to any other player ever physically. He said that. He said that about Sony Styles. When is he projected to get picked up in this draft, dude? Sony Styles. I have not looked at freaking mock drafts worth of shit. This is the first year, and I'm literally doing football on YouTube. I don't know why I haven't been looking at mock drafts. Let's see. Sony Styles draft projection. I figured top 5, but I'm like, is he going like top? Is he fucking going to the top 3? You know, with many experts ranking him as a premier versatile defensive chess piece. Yada yada yada. Yes. It's kind of telling that the GM for the that your guys' GM for the Titans said that though. You know, it's pretty interesting. Because I've seen things of it's almost as if it's like a smoke screen, right? So like, are you guys gonna take Jeremiah or are you guys gonna take a defensive player? Because Jeremiah and Cam Ward would be it would be dope as hell. But it's like you're gonna take the sexy pick or you're gonna take like the guy that could, like I'm a defense wins championships guy. So I would like for the Titans to invest in the defense, but at the same time, Cam Ward has to be surrounded by really good players on the offense to support him. So I'm not really opposed to either. I'm not. I'm like, take a running back. Why the fuck not? It's like the last good running back you guys had was literally elite. We're talking about Derrick Henry, So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do. But Sony Styles, yeah, bro, he's gonna be a hitter. He's gonna be a good player. I'd be shocked if he's not good. It feels like in this upcoming draft, there's a lot of good defensive backs and there's a lot of good offensive linemen. Am I tripping or does it feel like there's a lot of good offensive linemen in this draft? He said Ward and Love would be the best young QB and running back duo out there. They'd be pretty nasty, man. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They would be pretty nasty. That Love is he is insane, man. Like his balance as a running back is incredible. Like just the way you like see him like moving throughout defenses and just like the way he keeps his shoulder pads, but like his balance, like his footwork, everything matches so beautifully together. And it's like, who's bringing this guy down? Who is bringing down Love? Nobody. Nobody. So I'm not opposed to any team taking Love. I'm not. I've seen people talk about the Giants taking him. I've seen people talk about Tennessee taking him. I don't know. I'm interested to see where he goes. Wherever he goes, he better be blocked for good, right? Because if he's getting hit in the backfield all the time, that shit's gonna drive me nuts. Because I swear I saw like let me see. I fell sleeper. I saw something on Quinyon Judkins. Let me see. I saw like a stat on him. Let me see if I can find it in here. Bro, I ain't gonna go through this full fucking. I'm not gonna go through their full day. They better just pull it up. But I saw something that like he was hitting the backfield like an insane amount, and like it's the same thing with Ashton Genty. Like, dude, I feel so bad for those young running backs that are getting hit in the backfield a ton, and people are like, they're a bust. They're a clear bust. I'm like, how the fuck are they a bust if they're not getting blocked for? That makes zero sense, Titans GM and head coach comparing him to Jahmyr Gibbs. Did didn't Love run like a 4.3 something? He did, didn't he? Let's look. Jeremiah Love, 40-yard time. I swear it was like yeah, 4.36. Hey bro. Hey bro, once you get below that 4.4 speed for certain guys, it's like, bro, if the like we talked about in the last, I'll always bring this up as in terms of speed. But if that speed matches the footwork, people are in for some issues. And that's what it looks like with Love, in my opinion. Like I was sitting there talking about his balance. He's insane. Informed Watcher says, "Do you think the Eagles will take a wide receiver?" I'll tell you this right now. So I'll tell you this right now. I'm an Eagles fan, and it's not just because I'm like being like a baby or anything, right? Like I have pretty good intuition when it comes to the Eagles getting rid of somebody or like keeping them or whatever, right? Um, I don't think they're gonna trade AJ Brown. I don't. You see everything out there saying they're gonna trade AJ Brown. They've been reporting that shit. I'm telling you right now, dude. They've been reporting that shit since 2023. The 2023 shit season that you saw from the Eagles, yeah, they've literally been saying that since then. So I don't think he's gonna get traded. I feel like the media has just been giving it so much like gas, but they've been going back and forth with it. Like if you look at it, they've been going back and forth. They're like, oh, he's gonna get traded. He's not gonna get traded. He's gonna get traded post June 1st. And then they're like, right now it's like 50-50. And latest I saw who was it, Rappaport. Rappaport's like, yeah, a lot of people are expecting AJ to be traded. And I'm like, well, are you expecting that? Or are you going off of other people talking about that? Oh yeah, he said we Informed Watcher 3 said we already made the mistake of trading AJ Brown. I hope you don't trade him. Dude, I'm telling you, I don't think the Eagles are gonna trade him. I really don't. I truly do not believe that. Howie Roseman, since Chip Kelly has left, he's in the business of acquiring good talent, not getting rid of good talent. Now, if I'll tell you this, I will say this though. If the Eagles pick up a wide receiver in the first round, I'd be willing to bet they get rid of AJ Brown. Yeah, that would almost confirm it for me, especially adding some of the wide receivers they did. That almost would confirm it for me. I'll be like, yep, they're trading AJ. And would I be kind of sad about it? I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. Like AJ's a good player. I think he's a great player, but I don't know. You can only if a player's upset, it is what it is. It is what it is, dude. A lot of people like to pin that shit on Jalen Hurts, which is extremely frustrating, especially considering the offense was a straight shit fucking show. Excuse my language. But if you have your guys running a bunch of hitches, what the fuck type of creativity is that? I feel like most of us could draw up some shit, better than that, a bunch of hitches because I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it. I am getting into it. But the scheme, it wasn't there for Philadelphia. It wasn't there. And it just made everybody miserable. And so for AJ Brown, I'm like, bro, just keep him around. If the new OC that we have, Mannion, if he's the shit, like we're hearing, then great. Keep AJ around. But if AJ does leave, hey, bro, like we loved it while you were here. I still love AJ Brown even if you were to get traded. I literally have nothing against him. I'm not one of those fans that's like, oh, he's sour. Let's fucking get rid of him. I'm like, dude, he was frustrated during the course of the season. Everybody on the offense was frustrated. If he's not feeling it anymore here, then hell, fucking go to New England. Like I don't know. All that gas is to New England. I'm just like, sure, but um, I don't know. Patriots fans they are nuts after AJ, and I'm like, you guys trade for AJ Brown? We all watched the Super Bowl. Like trading for AJ really gonna fix your guys' offensive line because your guys' offensive line is ass, literally. Jalen's biggest strength is mental durability, so I don't buy into the hate. That's my thing, dude. And like, I'll be real with you, like, there. What's up, bud? My dog is staring back there. I'm like, who's there? Hold up. Hold up, guys. Hold up, I need to go check something. My dog, man, he was tripping. He was freaking me out. My girlfriend is gone, and I was like, "What is he staring at out there?" I'm like, "Did one of my nephews come in here or what?" But no, dude, he Jalen gets a lot of hate, and sometimes I feel like our fans make people hate him. I do sometimes. I'm like, I don't really know why you would hate him just because of our fans, but it is what it is. I love Jalen. I don't really ever want to get rid of him. I mean, the Eagles have won so much since he's gotten here. And I'm like, I don't see any reason to try and change that shit. Like, people will sit here and talk. You see all the talk about Jalen, and they're like, oh, they don't know if they're going to re sign him, this and that. Schefter comes out and he's all like, it's funny that people talk about Jalen. He's like, Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert signed their contracts around the same time. This is coming from Schefter. He's like, why does nobody talk about them? And just the fact that like Schefter said that, I was like, hey man, people don't like Jalen Hurts. They always have a hit piece out on him or some shit like, oh, he's not going to work out. The Eagles need to get a better quarterback. I'm like, what fucking better quarterback? Like, if they move off of Jalen, who would they add? Can somebody answer that for me? Nobody's been able to answer that for me. Who do they add that's better? And for those people out there, they could add Tanner McKee. They already have him as the backup. I'm like, Tanner McKee is not, he's not at Hurts level. We've literally witnessed it. So all that talk about Jalen, it's just driving me nuts, dude. I just ignore it anymore because it feels like there's a hit piece out on him, and I feel like it's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. And Lamar's better than Jalen, right? But I feel like there's a hit piece out on Jalen every single 2 months. It's like every 2 months there's always somebody saying something new about Jalen. It's like bro is literally just kicking back, just trying to win. He's a little bit stoic, right? But you hear teammates talk about him and they love him, absolutely love him. So it's just funny. It's just funny how the media says shit. Joe Burrow, okay, informed watcher says Joe Burrow is amazing but gets hurt. Herbert is amazing but can't do the playoffs. Exactly. 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 And so many people, they will excuse all of that shit with certain players. But they're just like, oh, well, if this player doesn't throw for 350 yards, so he's clearly he's not good enough. I'm like, okay, look at like wide receiver numbers compared to 10 years ago. Wide receivers are not putting up what they used to 10 years ago. That literally matches all quarterback play in the league. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying, I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's times when Jalen has like low passing games. Like, I literally watched the Buffalo game and, what did he have? Like a couple passing yards or some shit? Like, the Eagles' offense is good in the first half. They sucked in the second half. But I'm like, dude, all these quarterbacks are different. Like informed watcher said, Joe Burrow is amazing, but he gets hurt. Some people don't even know if Joe Burrow wants to be on the Cincinnati Bengals. We don't even know if the Cincinnati Bengals suck this upcoming year. You we all know it. There's going to be so much speculation. There's going to be so much talk about him being traded, going to another team, not wanting to be on Cincinnati. We all know that. And then Justin Herbert, yeah, Justin Herbert has Mike McDaniel. If they can't make a deep playoff run with Mike McDaniel, who is probably a rental this year, when is Justin Herbert ever going to do it? When is he ever going to do it? You tell me. You tell me. What do you say? Informed watcher says at least he doesn't throw for 33 yards like Jackson Dart. Dude, I can't go too crazy because Jackson Dart torched the Philadelphia Eagles. He torched their ass one game. He didn't do it the second game, but I was like, oh shit, dude, he might be good. This one reporter says, don't be surprised if Arizona takes running back Jeremiah Love. There's a lot of smoke there. I think they have other things to worry about as opposed to a running back, but that's just my opinion. I feel like them taking a running back would be pretty irresponsible. especially when they don't know who their quarterback is. I don't like it. I don't like it. Unless they're gonna take a guy in the second round that they are gonna want to try and build around, that they view as like their future, and then they take Love. But I'm like, I don't know, man. You guys are kind of in a weird spot as a team. Kind of in a weird spot. See what else is going on around the league. I don't know if you guys saw the Los Angeles Rams that they changed their logo. That shit literally looks the same. They just made it more yellow. I'm like, oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. I was like, what was the point of that? There was no point to that. Oh, I like this. I love talking about this shit. So from Sleeper NFL on X, first round Ohio State wide receiver since 2022. So 2022 to 2025, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison, and Mika Igbuka. It's wide receiver U. It's wide receiver U, man. It's like the same stuff that we saw with LSU at one point. Now LSU, oh man, I was about to say they weren't as crazy as Ohio State, but nah, they had a period where they were cooking. I mean, you got Jamar Chase, you got Jettas, Justin Jefferson, you had Jarvis Landry, you had Odell Beckham. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody else, but they've had some good wide receivers too. Just hasn't been like back to back to back to back. You know what I mean? But it says Cardinal Tate next. Maybe, maybe Cardinal Tate could be next because I think that Cardinal Tate's the best wide receiver in this draft. That's just my opinion. Just like watching all the guys, I'm like, I think he's the best in my opinion. Who, dude? Who else? They got another guy coming up though. What's that young guy's name? Why am I forgetting his name? Ohio State wide receiver. Why am I forgetting his name, guys? Jeremiah Smith. Yes. Jeremiah Love's name was like freaking throw me off. It always throws me off, dude. Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith, I always like I have to think for a second. I'm about to say their names because I'm like, don't fuck it up. But Jeremiah Smith, if he goes off, I mean, he literally could be getting selected in like top 5. Would it shock you? Wouldn't shock me. But for whatever reason, Ohio State is just wide receiver you, man. There's just a lot of good wide receivers that come out of there. Yeah. Foreign watcher, you knew what was up. Jeremiah Smith. And then who is it? Is it Ryan Smith from Alabama? Did he kind of fall off a little bit? Ryan Smith, Alabama. Is that his name? Yeah, Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams. Okay. Yes, Ryan Williams. Did he not have a good year this past year or what, dude? Let's look. Alabama as a team, they're just not. Man, I gotta be real with you guys. So okay, so I live in Utah, and I've always been the hater, right? So like, I never will root for BYU, never root for BYU. Okay, I always root for Utah. But the older I got, I was like, man, I don't like either of these teams. I don't like BYU or Utah. I enjoy watching Ohio State more. I mean, not Ohio State. I enjoy watching Utah State more. Um, because I remember when Jordan Love was there, and I was like, this kid looks decent. I didn't expect him to go to the Packers and be as good as he is, but I was like, he's solid. But I just have never liked watching in-state football, as in terms of college football. Me and my brother, we've always loved SEC football, and we've always thought that it's the shit compared to everywhere else. Watching it the past 2 to 3, like past couple years, dude, I'm like, what is happening to this conference? What is happening? It's like it took a nosedive, man. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. But Alabama, I'm like, what's going on with that school? School's got some shit to figure out. Is their coach still? Is he still coaching there? Alabama head coach. See, this is how much I don't keep up with college football like this. Kalen DeBoer. Okay, yeah, he's. I guess he's still there. He's still there. They haven't forced him out yet, bro. It's honestly kind of shocking. If I'm being real with you. If I'm being real with you, those fans are kind of crazy. You know, you look at Alabama fans, you look at Auburn fans. They are very serious Southern fan bases. Yeah, dude. Say okay. Informed watcher. He said Saban carried them all. Absolutely, he did. He did, dude. He did. He carried the whole fucking conference, dude. God, I don't know. SEC just ain't like it was before. It's still a really good conference though. And like I talked about earlier, a lot of good players coming out of the SEC, but just as in terms of them like winning against other college football conferences, I feel like it's really took a nosedive. Really took a nosedive. And like a lot of these teams you could just be like, well, okay, maybe that team could beat them. Like, didn't Vanderbilt beat them? I'm pretty sure Vanderbilt beat them. And I remember when I saw that, I was like, that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's see what else we got going on here. Best cars be getting tattoos together. Yeah, see shit like this, dude. Like Patriots safety Kevin Byard's message to AJ Brown. AJ, I would love for you to come join us in New England. Come on to New England, buddy. I would love to get the game back together. Come on to New England. Try to help us go win a Super Bowl. The Pats got to worry about that offensive line, bro. That offensive line is ass. Like a weapon for freaking Drake May. I'm like, I don't really think that's your major like. You guys getting a number one like AJ Brown, like yeah, it'd be a luxury. Absolutely, it would make your offense better. But I'm like, you guys can't even block for your quarterback. You guys can't even block. And another thing going on with that, if the Eagles were to in fact trade AJ Brown to the New England Patriots, would we know more about Diana and fucking Mike Vrabel by then? Like, what if some tea came out? What if some serious shit came out? I'm sure the league would investigate the New England Patriots then, and Mike Vrabel. Like people thinking that like there's no smoke there. I'm like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Like the Eagles literally got a draft pick just for the Arizona Cardinals tampering with a coach right before the Super Bowl, coach that you're wanting to hire, and you don't think Mike Vrabel having a possible relationship? Now we don't know, right? But a possible relationship with a fucking news reporter that's pushing a whole thing. I'm like, you don't think there's any like collusion there? You don't think the league will look into that? So I don't know why people don't take that into consideration. I mean, there are some people now, but I'm like, for that, I'm like, I don't think they're gonna trade him to the Patriots if they were to trade him. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Informed Watcher 3 says Will Campbell got embarrassed nationally, then cut their wide receiver one. Yeah, and dude, along with that, like Stephon Diggs, if I remember right, he went for like 1,000 this past season. Like Stephon Diggs had a pretty good, solid year for a player, for a wide receiver. Let's look at this. Stephon Diggs stats, because if I remember right, he went for over 1,000. Let me look. Gotta fact check myself. All right, all right. Yeah, in 2025, he went for 1,013 yards, along with 4 touchdowns. He went over 1K. Like that's a good season for a wide receiver, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. The heck. Who else did you say though? I didn't read all of it, did I? Embarrassed nationally. The running back got canceled. Yeah, the running back got canceled, and then Vrabel got exposed. Exactly, exactly. But hey, my choppy. I have no idea why. Appreciate you guys tuning in, watching the shit. We'll be sure to do this super often, right? Um, but yeah. Anyways, my shit's getting choppy. My Wi-Fi's starting to act up. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll do this soon. We'll do this soon. Don't worry. Maybe I'll give you guys a bit of a warning before, but hey, I'm out. I'll catch you the next one. Informed Watcher, thanks for propping me up. But I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Good night.